allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. All right, we have a word of prayer. Lord, we thank you for your blessings. Thank you for this great nation. God, we ask you that you will help us tonight, that we can make sound decisions, that you can direct us. We ask you to keep us in your will and bless this nation, Lord, in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. All right, we call the meeting to order. All the magistrates here need to get approval for the meeting minutes from December the 17th. Motion by Carl, second by Danny, all in favor? All right, motion carried. Okay, we'll move on to new business. Roads, I want to say that I have picked a road supervisor, just so everybody knows, Zach Smith, which I think most people do know here. He has been with us for a good while, and he's helped me a whole lot through this time when we didn't have a supervisor. All the guys are getting along great, and I think it would be better to hire from within than to bring somebody new in and we end up with drama. So he's going to be our new road supervisor, and we'll get you all, we're getting him a cell phone, so we'll get all you magistrates his number, and that way you can contact him. Right now you can contact me or whatever we need to do on that, and I can relay messages. And then the monthly report, of course, everybody knows what we've been through in the last couple of weeks. It's been a rough time with this snow. I think that for the most part, everything went good. One day we had 5 trucks on the road and 4 trucks in the ditch. You know, that's just part of snow plowing. If you had never pushed any snow with a truck, don't criticize the guys that's doing it, because I have, and I've plowed about the length of this field, about the length of this room, and I was off in the ditch the first time I plowed. And some of these guys can vouch for that right down my flat rock. But anyway, that road bears around the left when it goes off to the right, that flat rock does. And I went straight. But they all did, they just put in close to 80 hours that first week, and really, I mean, worked as hard as they possibly could. We had some hiccups. It cost us a lot of money. I would estimate we're just a little bit over $60,000 for just that one snow. We used all of our salt. We had some more salt come in. We used all of it, and we run completely out right at the end. But we have got more salt in again. We've got some more today.
We got 2 truckloads in today.
But we had got some last week too. So we've had salt again. We're mixing that half and half, and it's really making the roads look more clear. So I think that's helping. And I want to thank Toby and Daniel, Travis, everybody helped, and all you magistrates that contacted me if we needed any help. I can't say enough good things about the road department and what all transpired in the last 2 weeks, because everybody's put their shoulder to the wheel and tried to do everything they can, and the guys were wore out, I promise you, because I was. And they really did a good job, I thought. I know we had some complaints, and that's okay. You're going to always have some. Brad, the road committee, I think y'all had a meeting, didn't you?
Yeah, we had a meeting this afternoon. This went over checking on all the equipment. Everything seems, knock on wood, going, except the truck at Travis tore up on purpose so he didn't have to push snow. But anyway, Talked about, pressure washing. Of course, I think Zach said somebody's coming to look at the pressure washer, and he has got a file together. I think Amanda helped him get the file together to keep up with the maintenance the correct way. So, yeah, everything's going good. I'd like to congratulate Zach, and I think he's going to be great out there. And thank all the employees. I'd like to thank you and Travis for going at it, pushing. Everybody else, yeah, I know there's a few more that Justin and Reagan helped us out some, so.
Yes,
Thank you,
and
Dr. Whale.
Sean Woods, he did a couple
Yeah,
of
he
roles
done.
for us.
Yeah. Yeah,
Let me think, Harley Ward pushed.
Mike
for-
Cole, I think, yeah. I think Mike Cole done, Long Branch.
Yeah, so there's
Yeah.
several people that got involved and we do appreciate it because, man, it's overwhelming. Sunday, it wasn't too bad, but Monday, after that ice hit on Sunday night, our pushing was pretty much over and we couldn't get it pushed back far enough. And like I say, you try to push the edge of the road and then it sucks you right off in the ditch. And then we gotta get wreckers and backhoes and all that, but we're through that, thank goodness. Anybody got any questions or comments on the road department?
I know my area was, like every area, I did have some people address some issues, and I appreciate you, Judge, for coming out and taking care of some of that. Meant a lot having that extra to these people, showing that we did care about the road. Continue to look at it.
And we did tear up some spots where we was in the ditches and that kind of thing, so come spring, we'll have to fix those spots. And I know one lady was concerned about a cul-de-sac in Wolf Pen, and, I mean, we tore it up, it's our cul-de-sac anyway, so we'll have to fix it ourselves. But, it's, just part of it. All right, we'll move on to planning and zoning solid waste. Jason had to go to, Campbellsburg to work on the comprehensive plan with all the different cities. So him and Mike Ray's there, but I think you got the report.
Yeah, so from December 13th to January 16th, there were 21 electrical permits and 15 building permits. Next meeting, Board of Adjustments meeting is going to be January 27th at 7 p.m. here at the 4-H building. Planning and zoning will be February 12th at 6 p.m. here at the 4-H building.
All right.
As of now, that planning and zoning meeting, there's nothing on the agenda. So the next thing Jason wanted me to bring up is the bond reduction for the Riverview subdivision. This was a request that they had brought in. They're wanting to, the only part that is remaining is the final layer of blacktop as well as sidewalks. We've got it in theirs from their engineer. It was valued at $20,000 for the sidewalks and $25,000 for the final layer of blacktop. We crunched a few numbers and thought that was a little low. So we raised the blacktop up to $42,000 and the $20,000 for the sidewalk. And based on the planning and zoning ordinance, it's supposed to be at 125% rate. So the recommendation would be to lower that bond to $77,500. If approved by this board.
$7,000. So this is the subdivision in it, if anybody's wondering where it's at.
Right.
Has anybody physically seen the progress? That's all it's left.
Yes, they got done what they say they've got done. When we figured, the way we come up with those numbers is I went to where Mago bid on a road similar to that, and that's the way we come with the number of what it would cost to have Mago repave that with 1.5 inches of blacktop with top coat on it. So that's the way we come up with those numbers there.
What is it, less than a mile?
Yes, it's 3,300 feet. 20 feet wide.
I mean, sounds,
So we'll need that in a motion.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Brad. Second by Ed. All in favor? All right, motion carries. We'll let them know they can reduce that. Okay, Parks and Fairgrounds. Toby?
Yeah, we've been, staying busy, shoveling and salting on parking lots and. And other than that, just doing stuff. Perfect anywhere. Trying to stay busy.
Yes, it seems like we keep them doing something always, or some kind of little situation we have to deal with, and thank you all. Any questions for Toby? All right, we move on to Animal Services. Danielle?
We have 11 documents at 1,700, and then we did have a repeat the 15, and then the benefits was 725, bringing out the total for 7,485.
Okay, any questions for Danielle? All right, Roger, I think you all met.
Committee did meet and with Trimble County magistrates as well. There was a discussion of having additional heaters, propane heaters to complement the existing heating system that's really not very efficient. We've got circulating the air out, bringing new, being so cold. Trimble County's doing a good job of staying on lead with that. The dog doors being replaced, that's an issue. We need to insulate the roof, replace the tire builds are a bit excessive. Trimble County's going to be addressing the drainage issues that are in the back. One thing that the committee also talked about was supplying a topper for the Henry County service truck. Put supplies and animals back there as well. We felt like it's in the budget where we could buy one for $2,000 or less, and like the court approval, even though it's in the budget, to go in that direction, along with some lighting for Danielle, which would be legal. She said white lights, and that would be less than $500, which I think is in the budget. So I'd like to, just as a formality, make a proposal that we do move forward buying the topper for less than 2,000 or less, the lighting system.
Okay, second by Carl. Any discussion? One thing, is that gonna be a topper like what the Mike's got on his, or is it?
No, it's just like a regular truck,
Okay,
like you buy for your own.
yeah, okay, that's fine, I just.
That sliding glass windows on the side of it, so you know, you get air back there.
Yeah, sounds good, yeah. All right, all in favor? Okay, motion carries, thank you. Okay, Economic Development Committee update.
Yeah, the committee itself didn't meet, but the economic development had a meeting, the county, so to speak, had a meeting prior to this, trying to do some housekeeping with the part of the corporation and the bylaws. Every meeting this past one was more of a business type meeting, didn't talk about a whole lot of economic development. Just trying to figure that we know committee authority that it can do in the way it can operate.
All right. Thank you. Okay, Economic Development Council vacancy. Amy emailed me and wanted me to ask if we had anybody to put on there. Roger, you.
Well, what I'd like to do, and we probably should have did it prior to this meeting, but have the Economic Development Committee, which is Ed and Danny and I, look for a replacement that we would fill that vacancy with in the next 30 days, and come back to fiscal court at the next meeting and supply a recommendation for that
right, we'll move on to personnel, policy update. I know the committee met.
Yeah, we met Thursday and discussed the medical cannabis policy, and we came up with a policy, and I'll read it. And the medical cannabis policy, Henry County employees, January 21st, 2025, whereas beginning January 1st, 2025, KRS Chapter 218B allows medical cannabis cardholders to utilize medical cannabis, and whereas KRS 218B.040 provides an employer exception to this medical cannabis cardholder allowance, and whereas Henry County Fiscal Court pursuant to the powers within KRS 218B.040 hereby invokes the medical cannabis cardholder exception. Now therefore be it resolved that Fiscal Court of the Henry County, Commonwealth of Kentucky, Henry County Fiscal Court pursuant to the powers within KRS 218B.040 hereby prohibits the use of medical cannabis to county employees. Employees who consume cannabis in the workplace while work under the influence of medical cannabis or who have drug tested, test positive for medical cannabis are subject to discipline up to and including termination from employment with the county. I make a motion to adopt this resolution.
Make a motion.
All right, second. Second by Kevin, all in favor? All right, motion carries. I'll sign that and we can put that in. Okay, sheriff report, Keith.
I want to thank Toby. I put a shovel in my truck to go right there in the sidewalk. To go to the sheriff's office, I get up there and him and his crew done had all the snow removed and salt on it. He made me cry. And I think that because I was ready. But I actually told the wife, I'm going to a couple hours to walk some time. All right, run through this board. KSP dispatch calls, we received 380. Sheriff's office calls, 137. Citation, criminal summons, 76. Criminal arrest, 46. Warrant arrest, 17. Court paper served, 79. Transported one MIW. Had 60 vehicle inspections, 10 carry concealed license, 3 DUI arrests, and 1 drug charge arrest.
Been busy.
A lot of calls, it was a lot of calls.
Any questions for Keith? All right.
A lot if I had to do with the weather.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody was in.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Claims and transfers. I got any questions and want to approve claims?
Make a motion, Kevin.
All right, motion by Kevin. Second by Brad, all in favor? All right, motion carried. Thank you. Public comments, we ask that you limit to 3 minutes per speaker. Steve?
I will be as quick as possible. I might have to ask for another minute or two. I wanted to update the fiscal court on the Henry County Ambulance Taxing District meeting last night, and the decision that the taxing district made to switch ambulance services. I recognize quite a few of you were here last night, so I'm really personally hoping this is not a repeat. I just wanted to update the match from fiscal court because it's obviously a pretty hot topic. And I know that fiscal court is not directly related to the ambulance district, but I also know you get comments, and I think the more informed you are, the better it'll help us all. I wanted to bring up, for those who don't know, the Henry County, I just call it taxing district, voted to change the services from Baptist Health to a company called Ameripro. And we have been working with Baptist Health for several years, since 2020. But the situation had got, from a financial standpoint, more than we could handle financially. I did want to This was not to be a hostile situation with Baptist as we made the transfer. In fact, I'm going to read the magistrate's, this is why it might take me a little longer than 3 minutes. But per the recent amendment to the contract, we have that in the event of a termination of this agreement, parties shall work cooperatively to develop and utilize talking points to deliver news of the termination of this agreement to the public and to the media. Baptist will initiate the development of talking points to share with the district. The parties acknowledge that Baptist may communicate changes to the services and/or employment status to its employees, and such communication is not subject to prior review by the district, which is us. So it was on Baptist to communicate the changes to their employees. In the event of termination and in the interest of the EMS service and patient care, the parties will seek an amicable termination. The parties agree to refrain from making any disparaging remarks, responses, or comments regarding one another. If you were here last night, you know that didn't happen. But regardless of that, we pointed out last night, and I want to point out again, the issue is not with the staff and the local staff here. The issue is the contract. When the contract was initiated, and I think it was signed in late 2019, and it started in 2020, the contract has a provision in it that says Baptist Health will manage our services for the county. And it started at $30,000, roughly $30,000 plus a month. There is, as part of the contract, though, it says if Baptist Health manages these services, and if they incur a loss, it is the district's responsibility to pay that loss. So services monthly have moved, and that's what this, did you pass it around?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And that's what's in the handout that I wanted to show you. The services have moved 30-some thousand a month up to 66,000 a month. So it's went up obviously significantly. Obviously, we understand part of that. Taxes have not been raised. Now, there has been some increased tax revenue that has come in because property values go up, taxes, revenues come up, but the tax rate has not increased. So we've been hanging with the same tax rate with these expenses going up, and then if there is a monthly loss, then we have to reimburse. And in June, which is a year end, a fiscal year end, in June, the taxing district was informed, actually it was later than that, but it was informed that there was another $127,000 that we had to pay. And at that point, we felt like an energy. We really did. And it was asked last night why we didn't raise taxes. We could have done that, but that wouldn't have been enough. And it wouldn't have fixed the problem. The problem is we have a contract that just doesn't work. If you turned your business or your company or over to somebody else to manage and said, you manage this for me, by the way, you lose money, I'll pay you. It just doesn't work. And then we've got to that point. So we discussed with Baptist how we could redo it. And we discussed cutting expenses pretty soon. I won't say exactly, very similar to the services that we found that were American. But the question was to Baptist, if we reduce expenses and reduce the coverage, which by the way, the coverage equates to a reduction of about 50 hours a week. So it's not quite as dramatic as it sounded like something. But it has reduced. It is reduced. It would have been reduced whoever we met from a financial standpoint. Now, again, we can't raise taxes. We will tell you, we may need more animals. We're not watching it very closely. But before anybody raises taxes or increases the services, we feel we need to stabilize financially where we are. We had to use tax proceeds from this year's tax to cover last year's loss. We're going backwards fast. Is what it goes down to. So we feel like if we stabilize it, and we're going to have to settle up at the end of the 90 days after March, is a true up. We'll have to settle up. We don't have to pay losses. And so today, right today, it's a $40,000 loss. We know we're going to be sued. We got 2 more months to go in this situation to be very substantial amount of money. So we would like to settle that up, enter in and get the new service going, and then we can evaluate financially where we are and what we need to do. But I cannot deny this. We are as concerned about, as a taxing district, as a citizen, and last night we were asking, what do you value in life? That's below the belt. We're citizens here too. But we felt like we would have no service if we didn't do something. We were headed for bankruptcy. Close it down. And so, I wanted to make you aware of that. I know two of you are on the Kansas District Board, so I know you were there, but I also know you're receiving quite a bit of information, and I've even been made aware there's an effort made to get rid of the taxing district, which might make my life a little easier, but seriously, I think that would be a good move. So that's, I'm sorry, what I have. If you got questions, I'll be back.
One correction, you said 66,000 a month. We're at 54.6 right now. 665 annually, yes. I just didn't want that to be.
Yeah, 655, 600.
He's not trying to mislead.
There's enough misinformation, thank you.
Yes, yes.
Any questions?
Any questions, Steve? And I say thank you to that board. I mean, I know y'all took a lot of heat last night. And I understand the people are concerned, even the citizens are concerned about how many ambulances we have running. My hope is, once we get this all settled out with, Baptist, that we can just bump that to 2 24/7 ambulances. That's what my hope is. And not have to raise taxes and still be able to do that. But like Steve said, we don't know what that end number is gonna be when this contract is terminated. So you can't put your neck out and then not have enough money to pay right now. So that's the reason I think that the board, in their defense, that's the reason they voted to try this. This was they give us, 3 plans, wasn't it? And, that was the lesser of all the plans, but they did tell the board that they would rather move up than for us to tell them we want 2 24/7s and then them have to move down because we couldn't afford it. They said we'd rather go the other way. We can add easy, but taking away is gonna be a problem. So that's the reason the board went this route, I feel. And like I say, I can say enough of how hard these guys have worked and ladies have worked to try to make it work out.
Say something. I'd like to thank Steve for coming on board the committee with us, because we wouldn't be here right now. We'd be father in the hole if it hadn't been for he's really put in a lot of hours.
People don't even understand how many hours
No.
put in. I appreciate that, Steve, I really do.
You've been scooping snow, I've been scooping something else.
All right, any other public comments? I know there's people that does have concerns, but I'm hoping this will work out good and we can have 2 full-times, which is better than what we got right now. 2 full-times and down the road, if, I know they're talking to some other counties, if that would work out, we may be able to, if there's 10 ambulances in this district and we have a disaster or some other county has a disaster, as long as we keep one in our county and move the others to where they could shift them around and be a whole lot better for the whole, region. So we'll just have to see how that all works. Any other public comments? You?
Does fiscal court, are they actually over the taxing district, or is the taxing district the main one?
The taxing district is an entity of itself, just like the library board, the extension board, all those is all just, taxing districts of their own. The only thing we do have is I can appoint 2 magistrates. It says in the bylaws that I need to appoint 2 magistrates onto the taxing district board.
Okay. And so, at one time I asked why we wasn't getting a report, every month.
And that's the reason,
But I
because
mean, you're still y'all ain't responsible at all for whatever they do?
Other than the magistrates that's on here, we're not really responsible for that at all, right? And that was brought up last night at the meeting, and I mean, they say, do you want a committee update from all those? If we did that, we'd have to go for the Little Kentucky watershed, the library, all the different, special taxing districts, and go through each one of them every fiscal court meeting, and even the health department. So that's what it is. If you have any questions, you can ask, and Ed's on there and Brad's on there. They can answer a lot of your questions. I know people don't want to go to every meeting. I don't either, so, I understand that completely. But,
Been getting one question.
yeah, and I've had some to my office, several questions too. And my thought was, I hated it because we had to keep so hush hush on it. That bothers me. That I'm one of them guys, which I'm probably talking more tonight than I should, but anyway, I'm one of them guys, I'd rather talk it out before everybody gets, in a fit of rage, because I understand people are losing their jobs, and I hate that. So I'm hoping that AmeriPro will hire them and, everything will work out, but there is a whole lot more to it than just,
Well, like I say, since you have two people on that committee that goes to those meetings, I think that the court here should still maybe say what was going on. To let people know.
I mean, I'm okay
You know, I
with
mean, we don't have a problem with, the other boards, but on this, you have two people that sit on those boards. For every meeting. So one of those could say, hey, this went on, so to kind of where people wouldn't know what's happening now.
I'm fine with that as long as people don't feel that I can change, that I can make them do something. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, if we want to have that back on there, I don't have a problem with it.
I
That
mean,
was,
I think it would just be helpful to let people know something that's going on until after the fact.
mhm.
Can I address that?
Yes, sir.
So here was the conflict in this particular situation. We realized several months ago that this is not a workable contract. And we got notified probably August. That it's lost. We saw then that now we have to pay this year's tax money to cover last year's loss. And so if we said, and so we approached that, and so it was discussions over about a 60-day period as to what the options were. We really wanted to keep that, so it would have been the easiest thing to do, but that was zero. But to have reported that we're having these issues and these problems, we've got people working in ambulances that we fear both by that, and my husband, is that if this was all out there in the air, if we were looking for somebody else, it's hard enough to get staff now. We would lose staff in the meantime. And so that's still a very big concern. We've got to get some more, which is why we said we would.
Mark.
Yeah.
Mark.
Why we would not publicize it. We would hold back and let that just take the lead, which is what we said in the contract, and we wouldn't make any disparaging remarks. Well, as we saw last night, that did not get communicated to the staff. And we were sitting here listening to that and frankly feeling for these people, but we couldn't say anything. We were on track. We said we were not going to. But the reason, the meetings are open to the public, and they are, meeting every month. So anybody's welcome to come. We're dealing with issues of personnel, there has to be some confidentiality to keep that back. So that was the reason it might seem to come as a surprise. So we've had to be mindful of that. So, I hope that helps. I'm going to say, talk to you or answer any questions. But it's a situation, you know, if we had been under the requirements of this before, put stuff out to bid and the town like it's done, we could do that. It's not gonna work.
And they did get the contract said 180 days to start with. They did get Baptist to change that to 60 days because there's no way that it wouldn't get out in 180 days, and then we'd be the last 100 days or whatever without any coverage. So that was the agreement between the board and Baptist, and I think that was wise, because it is a long time. If you had to go, 6 months is a long time. And, so I guess really, if I was thinking when Steve was talking, really, if we had been having a update, they still couldn't have said anything about that particular part. But they could have last month, as far as saying that we chose to go with a different company, but no, I guess they couldn't have, because they were bound by Baptist. They still couldn't have said anything.
Baptist made their announcement to their employees last Thursday.
Yeah.
They announced their severance package this week.
So that, I hated it. I hated sitting on it. Trust me, I talked to people the last month and thinking, man, I wished I could tell them kind of what's going on, but you couldn't. And it really bothers me that we couldn't discuss it openly. But that,
EMS was taken off of the agenda because we had some complaints in here about calls. Those really need to be directed to the ambulance taxi district.
Yeah.
And by having it on our agenda, it gives the public false, showing that this governing body has something to do with the EMS taxing district as far as, making changes, that was the big reason why it was removed, because we had public in our meeting during public comment bringing up EMS issues that this body really, those need to be addressed with the taxing district.
If somebody was bringing something up, the two people that's on the committee then would be taking those ideas to them, right?
yeah, they could, yeah.
If you had somebody that asked about it here, they can relay that on to the board.
And I know they have done that before. Contacted.
There was 140,000 right there in this year. When I was starting that, the old things.
Yeah. No, like I say here again, I think that was accounted that way if it was started. That was something that was done, and hopefully in the new contracts, we kind of look things over a little better in the new contracts. Kind of get burnt once, learn from it.
This contract, I will tell you, is they pay a certain amount, they come in, they furnish everything, ambulances, everything. Where the old contract, we was reading over it today, that anything over $500, the district was responsible for on capital stuff or equipment, and then anything over 2,000 on the bigger stuff, the district was required to pay. And I mean, they're really paying for it anyway, but that sometimes can get you a big bill at the end that you wasn't planning on, and you've already maxed out. So that's where we're at.
It's like I've asked before, like who pays for the gas and all this, like you all, they pay for it, y'all gotta pay the tax. But it's very easy to get on the underside when you're doing it.
Yeah. Any other comment? Libby?
I just want to extend our thanks from the clerk's office to Toby and Daniel for continuing to spread the salt and stuff there outside our door, especially when it was starting to melt off the roof. I know Daniel came up there at least 4 times one day, chipping ice away. I do have a little bit of a concern when it was melting off. He's got other stuff to do. So I don't know if there's something that can be done with the gutters or something, as a hazard for the customers. coming in and out of our office and PDA. Like I said, they can't be there 8 hours a day, spread the salt. So I don't know if something can be done to help out with that. That's way above my head.
Well, gutters are over there. I don't know, is it dripping over the gutters or?
Yeah.
The gutter, they're in the gutter in the county, it's straight right down.
They're all stopped up from ice.
I've had phone calls, the same situation. What happens is when the gutter gets full and it freezes, the water line always like building.
Yeah. Well, we had church 2 weeks ago and 2 cars got demolished because they come off the roof of the church. So, there you are. But yeah, that is a problem. All the gutters are frozen solid. Okay, any other public comment?
Anybody else? I'm Dwayne Berry. I don't probably know anybody up here, because I'm gone from the county a while now. I grew up in Kevin. I remember Roger, high school. I met Brad. So I just wanted to come and see the inner workings of the Henry County government, see what was going on. And I got thinking on the way up there when I came through the four-way stop. That's and I've been back for 3 years, but that four-way stop, we all grew up with it and everything, and I know y'all have money, but you might want to consider, it might be time to get into the 20th century and put a traffic light there, that'll keep the traffic moving better on a major US highway. I think it would make the county look better. Just something to consider.
We had a traffic light up there. You down there at the courthouse?
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind waiting because I'm retired.
That's the state highway department that took that down. And I'll tell you, as far as like during the school time, I don't care.
Everybody avoids it,
Yeah, I don't care if you are retired, you ain't got time to sit there in the school time. They'll line up all the way to school, all the way to that stop sign.
Well, I don't know if y'all got any pull with people in Frankfurt or not, No, I don't either.
Trying to get stuff like him since I got elected.
Anyway, that's it. I just wanted to introduce.
Well, thank you for coming, and we appreciate your comment. Any other public comment? All right, any public comment?
I'd like to bring up Union Church. They're above the beams, it's dropping more, and getting complaints where tracks or dump truck loads is running up and down that loading. Can't get it fixed, you can get a limit sign on weight or something to say that road, because I know it's dropped quite a bit from last fall.
We've already had this discussion, but I mean, we can put a load limit sign up. If somebody on that, I don't care what DOT pulls them over, if they're unloading on that road, they won't get a ticket.
Right, no through trucks. They got it there.
But now, I don't know why any dump truck would ever go through Union Church to go anywhere. I don't see how it's through truck.
I'm waiting on pictures.
I can answer that. If you live on Union Church and you load a rock, you got to go. I know what was going on there, but Justin was putting a septic in and he needed some rock. So that's why they was on Union Church. There's not too many ways to get there unless you're an airplane.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I just can't imagine nobody using that for a pass.
So.
He was delivering on that road, wasn't he?
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
It's putting the septic in, Justin was for somebody on Union Church. He had that rock, and so you can't stop.
I mean, well, if we stop them, then we're keeping citizens from being able to do something, so. That's what's now.
Yeah, I know, we gotta look at that.
Yeah,
Can't stop.
but, okay, any other court comment?
I'll bring it up, but it's the obvious, but the EMS taxing district, all the taxing districts, the county, that is why economic development is so important in this county. We've got to get our tax base up. And these tax rates can stay the same, but we've got to get our money value up where we can support a higher quality service for Henry County, a higher, better library, better parts. And that's why we have to take a look at economic development, kind of broaden it out a little bit, maybe involve some of these other companies in here.
All right, any other comments? I'll take a motion to adjourn. Unless y'all want to just sit here all night. Danny, second, all in favor? All right, thank you all.